Hey guys, Jules for WhatCulture.com here, and I just want to talk to you today about shared universes. Or more specifically, about shared universes in gaming. You see, while everyone else is going off and just blowing their loads over the MCU or the DCEU, us gamers are sitting back and laughing because we've been having this for ages. And the best part is that some of the universes have been happening right under our noses and we haven't even noticed. Loads of these theories exist, but I've sifted through the mad and the bizarre and the downright weird to bring you 7 of my personal favourites, and I want to play a little quick game with you. I want you to tell me which you think is the most plausible down in the comments section below, because who knows, I might use it for a future video. With this in mind, I'm Jules for WhatCulture.com, and these are 7 shared video game universe theories that might actually be true. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to stay notified. Ding, ding, done. Number 7, Bethesda's universe. Okay, so this theory is that Skyrim, Fallout, and the newly leaked game Starfield are all intrinsically linked. And this isn't through some location or event across the different timelines. It's by a simple plant, the Nirn root. Now, in Skyrim and the like, the Nirns are everywhere, but it also appears in Fallout 4 as well, in documented form on the computers as NRT. So how could all of these worlds be tied together? Well, the theory is that Fallout actually happens first. And the radiation of all of the world wars that have been going on explains why there are the cat and lizard people in the likes of the Elder Scrolls. I mean, it's a little loose on the technology gap, I admit, but it's pretty interesting. And Starfield increases this rumor explicitly by stating that it's going to tie together these universes, which is a pretty big claim. They're doing this because they want to allow for a shared universe going forward. Nothing's been confirmed yet, but the prospect of using a Gatling laser to take down any would-be arrow in the knee guards is very appealing. F*** that meme. Number 6, Soulsborne. Okay, so I know a lot of you are immediately typing down in the comment that Dark Souls, Demon Souls, and Bloodborne do not link in any way possible. But I will say that there is some evidence to suggest that they do. Now, originally there was a hub world in Demon Souls that was cut from the main game. Here the player could see multiple archstones, one of which is smashed and unusable. This broken gateway is meant to lead to the northern land of the giants, which for many will mean Lordran. Yet, how does Bloodborne fit into this? Well, up until the Ring City DLC, it was actually quite difficult. But when that DLC dropped, some new details emerged. So in the DLC, you're tasked with finding a new soul so that you can give it to a painter to create a new world for people to escape into. But what you actually get is the blood of the Dark Soul. And where else do we know that has a big old love for the claret? Yeah, that's right. It's Yharnam from Bloodborne. Also, remember Chester from Dark Souls? His costume and fighting style is totally out of place, and he mentions this strange line. Let me guess, grabbed by a shadowy limb and dragged off to the past? Could it be that he's from Bloodborne and has been dragged back through their own timeline to Dark Souls 1? It's a strange theory, but then again, these are very strange games. Number 5, Hitman and Kane and Lynch. Now, no one's really crying out for a shared Hitman/Kane and Lynch universe. I mean, in fact, the only thing that people are probably crying out for when they think about Kane and Lynch is the motion sickness pills. God, I still feel ill just thinking about that sequel. But it does appear that their world is tied to the Hitman universe. They're referenced several times in the Bold Man Bruiser's franchise in the form of newspapers which detail the pair's escape from prison, as well as a few other details for the die-hard fans. And things get even more explicit in Hitman Absolution, where you can find the pair at a gun range. So this is less a theory and more of a confirmation. They definitely are in the same universe, but going forward, what does that matter? Number 4, Rockstar's universe. Rockstar's games are, for lack of better words, huge, and this is an ambitious developer behind them that loves to tie things together and constantly push itself. Therefore, it's entirely possible that there are a lot of Rockstar's games that interlink. There's a theory that GTA, Manhunt, Bully, and Red Dead Redemption exist in a single universe. It's mostly small mentions, but it makes most areas canon. For example, Michael in GTA 5 mentions taking a score in Casa City, which is the same location of the original Manhunt. In GTA 4, you can see an ad for a school that looks strikingly like Bulworth Academy, the school from Bully. But the weirdest ones is the link between GTA and Red Dead Redemption. When you're doing your character creation screen for GTA Online, you can choose some of your ancestors, and one of which is John Marston. Now, it's up to you whether you believe GTA Online to be part of the canon of the GTA universe, but if it is, That's pretty mad. Number 3, the Valve universe. In all honesty, the Valve universe is pretty much confirmed. The links between Half-Life and Portal are pretty big and undeniable, from GLaDOS mentioning Black Mesa in her closing song from the first game to the Borealis, the lost ship that was featured in Half-Life and was constructed in Aperture Science Laboratories. However, let's take this theory a bit further and try to tie in another 2 titles, Left 4 Dead and Counter-Strike. The basis for this is that Counter-Strike and Left 4 Dead share a lot of used assets in their maps, and the layouts can sometimes feel quite similar. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, this is just what happens in multiplayer games and the like, and it's just a case of reusing assets. But what if we were to look at the aesthetics of the game and argue that maybe Left 4 Dead and Counter-Strike are actually movies within the larger universe? It would certainly explain the reused props and the movie aesthetic that both games carry. Number 2, the Nintendo universe. Now, the Nintendo universe theory is a very charming one, but it does require games like Smash Bros. To be kind of left out of the mix in order to work. If you're happy with that, I'm happy with that. Let's move on. The easy ones are Mario, Yoshi, and Donkey Kong because they all share a lot of game time with one another. Yet you can also connect Link and Samus Aran to Mario in Super Mario RPG, where both characters can be found sleeping in different inns in the game. Isn't that nice? Just don't look in Peach's bedside table though, that's not so nice. It's a dildo. Plus, there are Mario posters in Ocarina of Time, so that pretty much confirms that at least Link and Mario share a universe. Also, you can add Kirby to the mix because Samus and he team up in Kirby's Dream Land. And finally, the ship from Pikmin can be found in Super Mario Galaxy. So again, that ties in pretty well. Now, there are a ton of games that I obviously haven't mentioned that exist outside of this shared experience, but isn't that nice to just think of them all just meeting up on the weekend and palling out? Although it is a bit weird that neither one of them has been invited to a Mario party. I mean, when it's been going on for 10 or higher, you'd expect an invite. That's just rude. And number 1, Ubisoft's Ubiverse. Ubisoft have a pretty tight shared universe, which is kind of a similar pickup line that I use for one of your mothers. There's my one per list. Who am I kidding? She's loose as f***. It's thought that Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, and Watch Dogs share the same universe and are actually all going to tie into each other at some point in time. The Abstergo symbol is in Far Cry 3, and there's a mission in Watch Dogs that involves the assassination of the CEO of Abstergo Entertainment, as well as a ton more. And there's a theory that Far Cry Primal shows the birth of the first assassin and the eagle vision, because he literally becomes an eagle. Ghost Recon is also woven into the mix through its use of tech, with many arguing that this is meant to be what a future assassin would use. This is given more credibility when you notice all the shared interfaces used across the games. It's all very interesting, but as to how they all tie together, well, that's going to be another video. And there we go, 7 shared universes in gaming. Let me know what you thought about this down in the comments section below. And as always, I've been Jules, you've been awesome. Go back, follow me on Twitter at RetroJ with a 0. Don't tell your parents. That's an old joke for the old fans out there, if you get that one. Anyway, also swing by whatculture.com for more news and articles like this every goddamn day. And as always, I've been Jules, you've been awesome. I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Oh, wasn't that something? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe below, and also the people who made this lovely video, they're appearing right here. But if you're thinking to yourself, I want to see more content, Jules, then why not look above my head, as there probably is some. I don't know. I can't see it. Until next time.